Therapy Army, let's be having ya. Let's be having ya, Therapy Army. Big up, Stephen Kramer. I hope you're good. Listen, it's freezing out here. It's absolutely freezing. That's what it is, pal. It's freezing in Manchester. It is, I don't know what the temperature is. Let me just ask Google, actually. Let me just ask bloody Google. I dare not tell you what the temperature is in the Steel City. Well, let me just temperature in Manchester tonight. Let me just ask Google. Temperature in Manchester tonight. Google, tell me. Temperature in Manchester tonight. Tom, are you there, Tom? Can you guys hear me? Please give me a sign if you can hear me. I don't know what happened there. Neil Ashton is like, nah, mate, we're not having it. There we go. I'm back now. Let me see if I can get off here. Let's see if I can get off here now. There you go. Don't know what that was about. Right, we're live, people. We're live, and the computer is absolutely going berserk. So let me just remove one. Big up, big up, big up. Faz. Neil Ashton is having a laugh. Neil Ashton is having a laugh. I repeat, Neil Ashton and the internet YouTube world, the Glazers are having a laugh because we know we're a little bit close. We're a little bit close tonight, people. We've got a jam-packed show for you tonight. But let me just welcome in my guest. The temperature in Manchester tonight is 1 or -1, according to what you ever would have believed. Vaz, I'll ask Tom in a minute, but are you warm in that lovely studio? Are you warm?
Yes, you know, Ten Hag ball has got me feeling very warm indeed, very energetic. We cannot be cold. You can't be cold when you're on a title charge. You can't be cold. It's hot.
Oh man.
Yeah. Big up everybody. Please welcome. We're going to be previewing Palace, which I think one of the most important games of the season for me, because you can't be on a high like most of us are. Yes, I am afraid to admit it. We're all giddy after that win at the derby because we've been waiting for it. For me, it was a personal thing after the humiliation of the 6-3 at the Etihad, which I did say we made City look like they were incredible, and they weren't. And the facts, I got vindicated again because Brentford went there and beat them. Even bloody Everton went and got a draw. Other teams went there, got beaten, but they competed. Manchester United didn't compete that day. So for me to see that at Old Trafford in front of my eyes, we even gave them a 1-0 head start. To me, that high, if we now drop points against Crystal Palace, the derby win is going to just leave a really bitter taste in my mouth. So we're going to be previewing that. We're going to come into obviously breaking news of the last couple of hours. Jimmy Radcliffe throws his hat into the ring. He threw it. He threw his hat into the ring to buy or invest in Manchester United. So that's where all things come with the quotations, because the Glazers did say investment opportunities. We
No.
have to keep it real. We have to keep it real. No, Tom, that's the official story. That's the official. You can have your own agenda when you come to it. You can have your own agenda. But big up to everybody. Big up to every one of you, Therapy Army. It is brisk and cold if you're in the UK, unless you're vast. Unless Ten Hag has shoved the warm, hot coal inside you, and now you're burning. The fire is burning. The fire is burning. It's burning in Baz. Steel City tonight, Tom, -2, -5. Those 7 Hills in Sheffield.
-4.
-4. Just a -4, people. Just a mere -4. But if you live in top of one of those 7 hills in Sheffield, it will feel like -30 to me anyway. That's what it used to feel like. I thought I was back in Norway visiting family again. But anyway, it is what it is. We're going to be looking at that. We're going to be looking at things concerning in terms of what we need tomorrow, the types of performance we need tomorrow. And of course, we're going to also be discussing team, who should play tomorrow, and whether we should risk Casemiro and Fred tomorrow. Both of them on 4 yellow cards. They were actually, this is the weirdest thing about that game where City fans are now protesting and our rival fan base are protesting. Both of them got booked. Both of them got booked in the try to tackle the same guy. It was Kevin De Bruyne, if I'm not mistaken, or Rodri. Casemiro attempts to tackle him, misses. He falls, he nearly injures himself. Then Fred brings him down. Fred gets the yellow card. Referee then goes back to add insult to injury and books Casemiro when he's on the floor as well. So it shows you the type of game, what you would like to believe. And I'm sorry to say, but I expected it today and maybe tomorrow in Parliament to be an inquiry about the Bruno goal, the equalising goal from the government. Government to stop caring about what's going on in the NHS, what's going on in the country, the economy, the cost of living crisis. Sooner put a halt to all that. There should be a investigation and an inquiry into Man United equalising in that derby. Because if you, even after 48 hours later, the way some of the pundits are still talking about this, you would think it's the greatest injustice in the history of sport. But I know it's not. The fear is there. The fear is there. Tonight, I've done a poll on my Twitter, that guy Red Devil. I've put it up and I've said, do you fancy a bit of that oil money? State fund. Or do you fancy a bit of Jim Radcliffe? And the last I checked was 64 to 27. And then I even gave people an option to say either. And I know that a lot of Arsenal fans who follow me are all jumping in there going, Jim Radcliffe. There's like, if you get oil money, it's over. It's over if you get oil money. But we'll come to those things. But I want to start tonight. Tom, I'll start with you. For me, how much of a dent would it be if Man United don't collect the 3 points tomorrow at Crystal Palace? By any means. I'm not asking for a performance. I'm asking for 3 points. I've reached that stage already where I think Manchester United to secure top 4, we need the 3 points.
I think it matters. I think the derby win wouldn't have really mattered then if we don't really pick up the 3 points tomorrow, because you beat the harder team and performed against the harder team to then not pick up the points in the next game. And then you've got the even bigger test at the weekend as well with Arsenal. So I think I just think it would just be a waste of time. And that with the Casemiro and Fred thing, I mean, if I'm being honest, Fred I wouldn't trust not to.
I think you might have just dropped, Tom. Are you back, Tom? Hello?
Yeah, like a caution. Yeah,
Tom,
I'm back.
repeat
Yeah. What I was saying was, I'll repeat. What I was saying was, with Fred, I wouldn't personally trust Fred in this game not to get a yellow card, if I'm being honest. If Ten Hag wants to use him against Arsenal, then he's got to be cautious in that regard. Casemiro, on the other hand, I think you can afford to play for 55, 60 minutes. I think he can avoid getting a yellow card, or he can get away with little nitty-gritty fouls where you're not really going to get booked and things like that, because Palace are going to try and play with transitions on the counter-attack and just sit back against us. But the only thing I would say in that regard is I think this game effectively, and I think the way Ten Hag looks at a lot of the fixtures, not the games, is the next game's the one that's the most important. He doesn't look at such as the Arsenal game and think that's the most important game for us right now, because it isn't. The next game is the next important game, and if we get past Palace with the 3 points, then Arsenal's the next game. So then that's the next importance. And I just think that at the end of the day, you've got to play your best team and your best 11 in every possible chance that you can when people are fully fit. And Casemiro out of this team, effectively, I think doesn't give that protection to the back four. I don't think it gives that solidity in midfield. We're already short on numbers as it is in midfield without Casemiro or Fred getting booked to go to Arsenal, because we haven't got Donny van der Beek as well as an option. So if either of those two get a card, you'll guarantee it's predictable in Mikel Arteta's head of what Manchester United are going to do. Because if either of them two players get booked, McTominay's coming in. You already know that. So if that's the case, you're going to have to play Bruno, Eriksen, and then potentially a McTominay ahead of one of those two players, or in whatever rotation it's going to be. But I just think that the importance has to be on the 3 points tomorrow. I think you said, Nuruddin, the performance can come. I don't really care if we're second best on the field, so long as we get the 3 points. I really could not be bothered. If it's scrappy, if it's tight, 1 goal, 2-1, whatever, get the 3 points, get out of there. That's all I'm saying. And then rest up, recuperate, recover, and prepare for the Arsenal game.
Listen, Indiana, I've sent you the link on Twitter. If you can jump on, bro, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Baz, actually, listen, we're going to have Crystal Palace fan joining us. Big up Eagle Eye, my brother, Eagle Eye, hopefully in about 15, 20 minutes. So big up to him. He's going to be joining us. But let's get into this Jim Radcliffe, because I really need to know where you sit. We'll come back to the preview. I just wanted to get your... Here he comes. Big up Indiana. Here he comes. Big up my brother. I'll say this and I'll say it quickly. The breaking news tonight, obviously it's not being secret. There's been an article in the Telegraph, actually, a week ago, talking about, or 2 weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 8 days ago. Right, let's just settle it 8 days ago. It's a bit cold. My time, dates, all that is a bit fuzzy right now. Basically, said the bids will be coming in, and it's Asia, Middle East, and the US as well. Obviously, if you live in this country, the economy of the US, Britain, interlinked. The economy of Qatar, Saudi Arabia, interlinked. It's all interlinked, right? Where do you stand on Jim Ratcliffe with his white horse rescuing Man United?
At the start, when the club actually announced that we're up for sale, or a potential sale will be looked into, we're looking at investments. Ever since then, I've been saying, Jimmy, where are you? Where are you, Jimmy? Come on now. You said you want Manchester United. Where have you been? So clearly, Jimmy has been busy working something. He's been cooking something up. So I'm happy. First and foremost, I'm happy that he's come out and said, you know what, I'm interested. I'm gonna put a bid in. But let's be honest here. Everybody has to take out sentiment. Stop being sentiment FC. Does Jim and his team and the people he's gonna bring, do they have enough money to sustain 10 billion, just write off 10 billion from their pot? Because 5 billion is for the club, 2 billion is for a stadium, 1 billion is for a training facility, women's, youth. Then there is the debt. Then there is the players. It is a lot of money. And are they willing to write off, 9 to 10 billion from the pot? You have to ask these questions. If I'm not mistaken, Jim Ratcliffe, his net worth is around 20 billion, 15 to 20 billion. How much of his own money is he going to put in? Who does he bring in? Is there a Dubai, Saudi, some of those investors involved? Because last time I checked, that Jim Ratcliffe had invested something in the Middle East with the infrastructure in Middle East. Mm-hmm. So there may be connections in there already. He might have connections in there already. And I hope that's the team that he's coming with. And if that is the team that's coming with, then sure, I'd be very much interested. But if it's Jim on his own, or it's Jim's business on its own, I'll be honest with you, with all due respect, I don't think it's the good right deal. When Todd Bowley is going and signing a player, Todd Bowley is going and signing players left, right, and center. When Manchester City are gonna be in the market for players in the summer, Arsenal have money, Liverpool have money. They don't know how to spend it. We need money, and we don't need money for players. People keep saying, "I want the Mbappe with the new owners." No, Nerdin. I want a new stadium. I am tired of walking into Prison FC with them turnstiles. I'm tired. I am tired of going to Lee Sports Village. I'm tired. I want good facilities. I want Old Trafford to look way better than Etihad. Way better. That's my most important thing. Players don't even come first for me. Training facilities, another one. I want better training facilities because that means better future for our youth players. That's what I want. And if the new owners can do that, then sure, I'll be happy with that. But other than that, I don't think so, man.
Tonight, Indiana.
Yeah, man.
Brother, first of all, how's the family? How are you? How's
family are good, man.
How's the creativity? How's the poetry?
All good, man. All good. Just busy. My 3-year-old's being typical boy, man.
Typical, everywhere. Exploring, exploring and philosophizing.
Man, the kid is just next. Like, I've got 3 children, and this kid is next level. I'm telling you.
The energy.
Yeah. Man, it's next level. But
listen. Is he good enough to play for Man United yet with his energy levels? Is he there yet? That's the question we want to know.
Yeah, he could match Fred. Definitely match Fred, man.
There you go. There. Big up, bro. Long time no speak, brother. I hope.
Yeah, man. I hope you're well. Faz touched on something that I've been thinking about actually, when he's talking about Jim Ratcliffe and.
This is what I want to hear, bro. What's your opinion? Are you Jim in or Jim out?
See, it's only just made me really think about it in depth. If you're looking to buy Manchester United as a consortium, wouldn't Jim Ratcliffe be an incredible person to be the face of that consortium? Wouldn't that be like the ultimate thing that you could do? Come in with the money, have a fan who's the face of it, so you've got that connection with the fans, or you feel like you may have that connection with the fans. But ultimately, Northern, I don't actually care who the owner is. I'm seeing a lot on the timeline of people saying, "I want an owner who cares." I don't care if they care. I don't care. I want an owner who wants to win. I want an owner who wants to win and is arrogant and is actually just a bit of a prick, to be honest with you. They just want to go out there, get the best of the best, be the best of the best, show off. And the only way to do that is by running the football club properly. I don't care if they have an emotional attachment to Manchester United. That's not their job. That's my job as a fan. That's my job. As an owner, you need to be competent. You need to be able to function and run the club, run the business properly. Make sure you're putting the right people in the right roles. Make sure you've got the best facilities. Like Manchester United, they don't need the Chelsea or the Man City treatment. We don't need to grow like a brand like that. We're already a global brand. It's already the biggest club in the league. It's not about players. We generate enough money to buy players. There is a big enough pool to buy players. If you've got that money and you have the right manager and the right setup, and you're challenging for titles and trophies, there's not going to be a problem with attracting players. You're not going to have to pay over the odds like that. Like, create the environment that you want to have moving forwards. I don't understand why people are talking about they want this owner, they want that owner. You just want the right owners in terms of being competent and wanting to win, right? That's what we're looking for. It doesn't matter whether they have these emotional attachments. And actually, what you said earlier is worrying, and me and you spoke about this a lot in Spaces. The fact that the first reports coming out was about investments, that's always going to be a worry for me, if I'm honest. Like, we don't actually know who's going to be in this consortium, how it's going to be run, what's going to happen here. There's a lot up in the air. I don't know how people can say they definitely want this owner or definitely want that owner when we don't actually know what we're getting yet. I just want someone who wants to win, Nordin. I'm a Manchester United fan, and I'm sick of watching Man City win Premier League titles and Liverpool pick up one even though they can't defend it. Like, I just want to be Manchester United again and go back to winning, man. That's it.
Exactly. You know what? 100% I agree. And I think you and Vass hit it right. You've hit the nail right on the head, I think. Let me just get this super chat. And big up Logan as well. Logan, I've got all the quotes. I've starred them, and I'm going to use them to talk about when we come to the preview bit. But if you got any quotes about Jim Radcliffe and about what's going on and about him bidding, please hit us with a quote, and I'm happy to share them. So big up Alien Tenno. He says, I'm tired getting stuck in those turnstiles. Those old school 19th century turnstiles. Big up Alien Tenno. HKN Music says this. He says, I got the bone to pick with Vass. Martial hater. You don't know more than the manager. Martial, the only player in the squad that can play up front the way Ten Hag wants. And all we need for him is to get fit and stay fit. Respect my striker. Right, we'll come back to that, Vass. So hold your thought. The worst you could have done is trigger Vass on the Martial moment. Right?
Honestly, you're done. You're finished. I might as well tell you now. This is Sentiment FC. This is rotten behavior. Stop this sickness. Stop this pandemic of Martial. Stop it. You guys are the same reason why this is what you do, player FCs. Stop it. The manager does not give a shit about a player that hasn't played 190 minute this season. 190 minute. He's not played 190 minutes in 2 years, and you're here telling me respect. Respect yourself. Your loyalty is with Martial. When Martial leaves, leave with him and go and support someone else. This is like the Ronaldo fan base, man. This is a sickness. That's what this is. How are you telling me when players like Anthony, Malacia, Bruno, Dallo, Ericsson playing every single game? Dallo was playing every single game, and we didn't respect him as much as these people respect Martial. This is a sickness. This is disgusting within our fan base. No, you can't laugh. This is a problem. What do you mean is Ten Hag style of play? When Ten Hag start doing his tactics, him and Van der Gaag are looking at each other thinking, what the hell are we going to do with this kid? He gets injured in the warm-up. We might have to change the warm-up for this kid. Might have to readjust our warm-up for this kid. No, man. Miss me with it.
Listen, he steps out of his house, he gets injured. HK was a
miss me with it,
FC.
Man.
But we won
250 grand a week.
Every game. This is what it says here. We won every game since the restart. Right, we're gonna hold it there. We're gonna come back to that. Big up, Mundo. I'm gonna hit you now. Big up, Mundo. How are the kids? How are you? Did you enjoy Derby win? It was incredible to be in that stadium, Mundo. Incredible to be in that stadium, and understanding all the born again City fans we've had to deal with in the last 10 years. And to see them all cry, and now the media have a meltdown. Like I said, tomorrow's Parliament, I'm expecting Rishi Sunak and Starmer both to come out to both join in the inquiry into the first goal, why the first goal was allowed. That Bruno goal was allowed because that's the ABU energy is back. The hatred of Man United is back. Knowing that we knew about all these other goals that were blatant offsides, and people have scored. And it's just been like, oh, yeah, that happens. Arsenal, Chelsea in the FA Cup, Ramsey literally goes to strike the ball. Sanchez smacks it in, goals allowed. City can't moan. 2 goals disallowed on Villa. One where Rodri's 20 yards offside, comes back from offside, controls the ball, gives it Bernardo, and then they score. Other one, Coutinho scores a goal. And then they're like, it's offside, and he was clear onside. So let's talk about it. But anyway, putting that aside, Mundo, Jimmy has literally thrown his hat into the ring. How you feeling? Jimmy in or Jim out? You're muted. You're muted.
You're unmuted, bro.
You're muted. You're muted.
Yeah, I'm not sure why. Okay, so first and foremost, I'm Glazers out. Right, that's number one. Glazers out. So anyone who has got the money to stump up and buy Manchester United, who are not the Glazers, I'm all for. Right, we're splitting hairs here. The most important thing is to get these leeches out of our club. Get them out. But I'm feeling what Indiana was saying about you want those arrogant owners. That's why I'm saying cover me in the oil. Bring me the oil money. That's what I want to see. You know why? because these guys come and they think, you know what, City have got
Mundo,
gold
Mundo,
caps.
stop it.
We want platinum
You
caps. You
just literally said, Mundo, you just said dip me in that oil. But they're right. Dip me in that oil.
Dip me in that oil, mate. Cover me in that crude oil, mate. I don't care. Bring me the money, right? Because I want my team. I want the owners, just like Indiana says. You know, especially when it comes to the Middle East, they're super competitive. So if we're bought by the Qataris, they'll want to outdo the Saudi owners. They'll want to outdo the Emiratis. Yeah, they'll want to outdo each other. So they'll want us to have a better stadium than City. They'll want us to have better facilities than City. They want us to have a better team than City. That's what I want. I want owners who come in who think we want to make Manchester United number one. Even go further, we want to make Man United better than Real Madrid. We want to make Man United better than Barcelona. We want to make Man United the number one team. You need those types of owners. Now with Jim, he's a boyhood Man United fan. So even though, and I don't think he will have that levels of money to go to that extent. But what he will have, I think, is he will have our interests at heart. So, and as Indiana said before as well, I'm being a little bit facetious here. We don't necessarily need the oil money because Man United in itself it's a big enough brand. We can generate our own money.
Mundo, can I stop you there? Can I just stop you there? Can we generate our enough money to compete with Saudi Arabia and Todd Bowley and Man City Dubai? Do we have that level of money, sustained money, to be able to compete?
But the thing is, you can only put 11 players on the pitch. Right?
No, I understand that. But what I'm saying to you, what I'm saying to you is that forget actually Todd Bowley, because Todd Bowley's doing an Ed Woodward. He's doing an Ed Woodward. He's doing an Ed Woodward, right? Forget Todd Bowley, but Dubai and Saudi Arabia. Have we got that money? Has Man United, because this is the sustaining Man United. We're looking at the success that Fergie gave, where we were living off at the height of Man United. Man United were making 700 million a year in profits in terms of how much money the club was generating. That was the height. That was because success, 13 Premier League titles, Champions League finals, back, you know what I mean? Crazy, 3 titles in a row. That is the reason why we reached that. But what I'm saying can Man United go back to that? Do you reckon? Yes. And to be able to fight against Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and the Dubai lot?
But no,
what I'm saying is that Man United only need to. What we need is the initial investment, like what Man City don't go out and spend 200-300 million every summer. Yeah, you just need the initial investment to get your team to a certain level, and then you need the right structure in place, the right scouting network, the right manager. I think we've got the right manager at the moment. All the rest needs to be looked at, but that's what you need, right? Because once you reach a certain level, Real Madrid are not going out spending 300-400 million every summer, right? The only teams that do that are the teams like the Newcastles and the PSGs, who need to bridge that gap between where they are now and where they want to be competing with the big boys. So they need to spend big money at the beginning. But I don't think Man United need that level of investment at the beginning. Not in the team anyway, definitely with the stadium. What we want is a commitment from the new owners to put aside 1.5 billion to clear the debt and give us a new stadium, right? In terms of the team, yeah, we probably need a couple 100 million spent in the next window, but it's not wholesale changes. We don't need to go crazy like City did in their first few windows. Newcastle will have to do that at some point if they want to bridge the gap. So I think even if you do get a Jim Ratcliffe consortium, I still think we can compete with the big boys. We are the big boys.
But we can only spend on players what we generate. You can't just throw money at players.
No, I know that, but you know what? What City can do, and what Chelsea are doing now, they've blown this financial fair play thing out of the water, because now they're signing on players to 7 to 8 years and basically making sure that they're paying that yearly. They're not paying the money all at once, which is really interesting, which is a way to go around financial fair play. The article that I read on the Telegraph was that by James Docker, by the way, who's been really good lately on anything with Man United, is that the UEFA financial fair play is going to have a bite. It's going to have a bite because Man City went around it, just paid 10 million. You know what I mean? They did nothing, but they paid 10 million. Like, it's ridiculous. It's one of those weird things. And basically, what that was is that now, coming in from next season, apparently, you only spend what's happening to Barcelona right now. So your wages. Now, we reckon Man United, we've got one of the highest wages in world football. So that's why you've been hearing these things about certain players getting paid 200 grand or whatever the wage. 70% of the money that we've made in the last year and a half has gone to paying wages and sustaining the club or whatever in whatever capacity. I agree with you. The only problem is I'm saying to you, has Sir Jim Ratcliffe got, and this is the last thing of the question, and I'll go around to Tom and Vas and Indiana and Mundo before we start going on with the preview for the Palace game, which is this show mainly about, but we got distracted by Sir Jim Ratcliffe there tonight. It's the fact that, the topic of conversation has been the Jim Ratcliffe tonight because of the breaking news. I say this and I say it simple. They'll see have 5 to 6 billion to buy the club and then further 2.5 billion investment into the club straight away. Because as we speak right now, Man United are £1 billion in debt. Right? That's why this investment talk worries me, because I'm like, do they really want to stay? Because at the moment, I'm telling you that the quick sale has to happen. Before I was like, the quick sale can't happen. Since the news broke, I've been doing a bit of research, literally looking at the numbers, and I'm going, oh my God, we need a buyer right now. Man United can go broke in the next couple of months. Like, it's crazy. It's absolutely, I know that sounds ridiculous, but that's what they've done. They've rinsed this football club. They've literally went like this, squeezed every little ounce of Man United blood, sweat and tears. And Man United need an intervention. We need an intervention. I'm not lying to you. So I'll quickly go to Vaz. Vaz, has Jim Ratcliffe, has he got 6 billion the Glazers want, plus 2.5 billion, 3 billion investment in the next 5 years?
Absolutely not. His net worth is around 15 to 20 billion as it is. How is he gonna spend half of his net worth on Manchester United? He don't love Manchester United that much to write off half of his wealth. I'll be honest with you. He needs proper backing with consortiums who are willing to put that money up front. By the way, up front, cash, ready to spend. Come in, ready to spend for a stadium. Come in, ready to spend for training facilities. Who's got that type of money except for Dubai and Saudis and the Middle Easterns? I don't think Jim has it. But someone mentioned that who's better to lead this consortium other than Jim Ratcliffe? Who would be the ideal candidate to be the face? Of course, it would be Jim. So from that perspective, I can see this as well.
Mm-hmm. Now, big up, 100%. Listen, before I go to Tom, I need to read out these super chats. Vaz, please save it for later on where you can reply to the brother. Big facts, you're a hater, no facts. That's why I don't like him. It's only about the fitness. His goals record is United isn't that far off. Rashford, who shoots twice as much. You can't see Martial is a class player. I question your football knowledge. And before that, he said, sickness, but we're winning games while he starts. You're showing your bias against the player. Right. Big up to HKA Music. I love the opinion. I love that you're passionate about Martial. Eric Ten Hag rates him. Some people are frustrated like Vas. And you know what? I sit somewhere in the middle. I'll go quickly to Tom. Tom, has Jim Ratcliffe got the money for the investment? 5 to 6 billion to the Glazers, 2.5 billion investment in the next 5 to 6 years at Man United.
Him on his own, no. I think he would have to either lead a consortium, or Ineos, which the company that he's funded by, has, I think, in the region of about 50 billion as a company. Depends, but he only owns 60% of the company. So he would have to get a lot of those directors in Ineos on board with him to finance things like a stadium renovation or, a new stadium and this, that, the other. But if we're talking in terms of him renovating the stadium, I think he could do that. But I think a lot of the fans out there, they want something new. They want something vibrant that's going to put Man United on the map. And that would be a new stadium, new training facilities, women and youth team stadiums. And I think the model that a lot of Manchester United fans have looked at is the Manchester City model, because any people who go to the Etihad or the sort of campus there were jealous as Manchester United fans of what they have and what they've actually invested in the area in the last, 6 to 7 years. I mean, they've built basically their own area in land. Yeah. And all the planning permission that it's taken there, and it's taken years to do, yes, but That's what proper investment and proper developers will do for you at football clubs. And it doesn't surprise me that they've won the last 4 out of the 5 league titles. But Sir Jim Ratcliffe, I think, in my own opinion, I don't really have this affection in terms of an owner's got to be a fan or they've got to love the club or anything like that. I think they have to embrace the club. First and foremost, they have to embrace the fan base and what they're actually getting themselves into. I want people to know, this is Man United, and this is why I don't necessarily believe that Middle East money is where we need to go, effectively. And I don't necessarily think the model of what Todd Bowley is doing right now is terrible, because Chelsea are a good selling club. Manchester United, we have the revenues that can compete with a City, a Newcastle, a Liverpool in the transfer market window year in, year out. We have the revenues to do it. And I don't honestly believe that in this current time and in the current market, Manchester United's main focus should not be on the playing squad right now. It should be investing in the youth team and women's team, first and foremost, because they have got hardly anything that the men's team have at this current time. And then you look at such as a stadium development for Old Trafford. You look at all these other different departments and stuff, and like Faz said earlier, these things add up. You're going to be talking upwards of £10 billion. And if Sir Jim Ratcliffe's net worth's about 15 billion or whatever, and even if he does it by himself, like he doesn't love Man United that much to ruin half of his wealth. And the one thing with a lot of these billionaires is they want a return on investment. And I've always stood by this during the sale of Manchester United process, will be that a lot of these people that are going to be coming into Manchester United are going to be thinking we can make something out of it in 10 years time.
Well, Tom, that's what I have. That's why I don't want any American owners, because I know a lot of the people who are interested are hedge funds, and hedge funds are vulture capitalists. And I don't want anybody looking at Man United and thinking, ooh, that's what I'm going to be getting. That's what I don't want anybody. I don't care if you're Saudi, Qatari, I don't know where you come from, Timbuktu. If you're anybody who's about hedge fund, vulture capitalist, I don't want you near any Man United. That's what I don't want. I want somebody who, just like Mundo said, who wants to be competitive, like Indiana said, who wants to be competitive about Manchester United being back at the top. And that is what we want.
That's all we want. We don't need. This is why I'm saying we don't need the Middle Eastern money. We need somebody who's just going to control the club and let the finances run the football club for what it needs to do.
The only thing I would say to you about that is that Man United currently can't make anything. We're littered in debt. We're £1 billion in debt. We're going to need at least the Glazers are not going to walk away about 5 to 6 billion. They're not going to walk away, and then they're not going to walk away without that, right? They're not going to walk away without that. That's what we're going to have to take to get rid of those vultures. And then we're going to need 2 to 2.5 to 3 billion in the next 7 to 5 years. So whoever comes in, they have to have deep pockets before they see any returns, or before we can get back on the footing where we're self-sustainable in that way. But quickly, listen, we're going to talk about Palace. I believe it's the most important game in our season so far. Why do I say that? Because you can't be riding the wave of the high, which we've just ridden, right? Tom, you can come back, hopefully. What we've just ridden, for us to then go and get beaten tomorrow. And we know Selhurst Park is a tough place to go. Historically, we are aligned. There's some things that happened in that stadium that's marked the history of Manchester United. So, none more than so, we welcome the brother, the one and only Eagle-Eyed. Palace die hard. Palace die hard, literally die hard. My brother, Rich, how are you, brother? How are the kids, first of all? Everything good?
Everything's blessed. Kids are good. Wife is good. Yeah, I can't complain.
Kids in school are good.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? They're doing a lot better, actually.
That's
doing a lot better and stuff.
Good.
Listen, we got to try and impact these young people, man.
That's it, brother.
100%.
So talk to me, first of all. I watched your game, a bit of it, the second half. I thought you were very unlucky. I thought you deserved the point, at least, at the bridge.
Yeah.
Was it at the bridge? Yeah, it was at the bridge.
It was at the bridge, yeah.
Yeah, you deserved the point. I thought you played a lot better than you played against Tottenham, even though I did think the only difference between you and Tottenham have been just the goals. Harry Kane was just caught you on that day. And if Harry Kane played for Palace, you would have scored those goals.
Yeah.
I actually thought at times you played better than Spurs. So it's not been the performance in terms of the performances. It's been things that have been going against you. How do you see this game tomorrow? How much are you looking forward to this game? Are you looking to come on, let it out.
Mate, if we can get out of here with less than a 2, like either 2-0 or 3-1 and stuff, I'll be very happy.
Okay.
You know what? I know you said that like our performances haven't been too bad. They really have. The Chelsea one's an exception. Tottenham for 45 minutes, I thought we controlled the game. Well, let's say 35 minutes of the first half. Second half, we were terrible. We were dreadful. As soon as they scored the first goal, our heads dropped. Fulham game, similar issue. Got the 2 red cards, couldn't recover. But Chelsea, we were unlucky. Very unlucky to not at least go away with a draw. Kepa's made some fantastic saves in that game. Same with Gaeta, to be fair. He made some good saves for us as well. So what I am happy about is that at least we had that performance against Chelsea because, like I said, before that we've been bad performances-wise as well. At least we've had that game against Chelsea where the performance was good. Now coming to it against you lot, resurgent, by the way. Like Ten Hag's doing a madness with you lot.
By the way, can I just say something about Ten Hag? It was the first stadium he's ever been in before he even stepped in Old Trafford. The first stadium in this country as officially the Manchester United manager. It was him with his cream suit, with him bowling out like Rio Ferdinand, creamy, sitting at the Palace, Selhurst Park, watching us get watching Bruno literally set up your only goal in the game.
Yeah, hopefully Bruno can do that again tomorrow.
Listen, I'm going to ask you a question. Where are your weaknesses? Where can we attack you? Where can we hurt you tomorrow?
It's going to be at centre back. Anderson picked up a calf injury, so I doubt he'll be playing. And
Tompkinson?
I reckon it's going to be James Tompkins, and I'm not happy about it.
Is he a Scouser, by the way? Is he a Liverpool guy?
I don't care where he's from. He's terrible.
Right, so centre backs we can get at you. You also said about the confidence. The team's not confident at the moment, so their heads drop. So if United score first, we think we're getting out of there with 3 points, yeah?
I think so, yeah. But like I said, against Chelsea, even though we conceded, we still played well. Like Kepa still had to make saves, and that was the biggest improvement from when we played Tottenham, where when Tottenham scored, literally we capitulated bad and stuff. Look, it's Wednesday night under the lights, Selhurst Park. You know it's going to be, the atmosphere is going to be crazy, but we ain't been scoring many goals, and that's going to be a big issue. If we score first, we give ourselves a very, very good chance. If we don't score, if you lot score first, it's going to be a long night. Or as you say,
a good night, Vienna.
Good night, Vienna.
Good night, Vienna. Is it a good night, Vienna? Right. Big up. I'm going to go to Mundo and then Indiana, and I'll come back to Vaz. Mundo, what does this game mean to you? I think this is a tougher game because there's zero motivation for Man United players to play Arsenal at the Emirates. There is no motivation. In terms of aggression and intensity and bringing your A game, there is no motivation. Ten Hag can't talk about it because we know that is one of the big fixtures in English football. You know what I mean? And actually, we are where we belong, both of our clubs at the moment. Only for the moment, we are at the right end of the table where we're used to be in the 90s. So it's a kind of like a retro throwback, right? So nobody needs to motivate anybody or talk about what it is, the mentality you need to have to get 3 points or to get a result at Emirates. But what can we do? What tomorrow? What does it represent for you after the high of the winning the derby and then going there? Because I'll be deflated. If Man United don't get 3 points by any means necessary, I'll be deflated. Trust me. What does it mean to you tomorrow, the Palace game?
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I think we need to win. We definitely need to win the game. Going into the Arsenal game, you want to be going in on the back of a win. But Palace is the banana skin for Man United. They are. And Palace have got some quality players on their day. You know, if they turn up, they could give us a going over. The interesting thing tomorrow is, who do we play? Because Fred and
Casemiro, 4 yellow cards. 4 yellow cards.
Yeah. So, but I'm a strong believer that you've got to play your strongest team. You've got to win the game that's in front of you. There's no 100%. point in playing a weakened team and not getting a result at Palace, because then it ruins the kind of the vibe going into the Arsenal game. So we've just got to go into that. We've got to win that game. But I can see it being similar to Wolves and those types of games, Leicester away, where if we do win, it'll be tight. It'll be like 1-0. But it depends as well if Rashford's fit. Is he going to risk Rashford tomorrow?
Yeah, well, I think Rashford's going to play. I think he's on that much good form. They'll give him whatever injections or whatever to get him on that pitch. I think they're going to try to get him on that pitch tomorrow. But listen, Vas, I know you got to go, but quickly, brother, I want you to give me before you go. What are your hopes and dreams and prayers for this game for tomorrow night? And how much would you be hated if you don't pick up the 3 points tomorrow night?
I think firstly, looking at how Crystal Palace's season has turned out, I thought they would be a lot stronger and in a lot better position, in all honesty. And things have just not worked out for them, and they've never really gained momentum in the season. So, considering all of that, and considering how Chelsea have been playing and what they did to Palace, I actually think it should be a very much decent game from a Man United perspective. We're really having momentum right now. On top of that, each player is doing their job at a very decent level. Some are outperforming this season. We've got a secret weapon called Garnacho. Let's not forget as well. Marcus Rashford is not even breaking sweat at times when he's scoring. We should be able to make a meal out of Crystal Palace. With all due respect to the brother here, anyways. Selhurst Park isn't a joke. But
do you know the history? Do you know what? Do you know the history of Man United visiting Selhurst Park and how they turn up? How is the FA Cup final for them? You know what I mean? We've been in a couple of FA Cup finals historically. The ties between Crystal Palace and Man United in the last 30 years are strong, bro. Crazy things that happen between these two clubs. So
but they did beat us halfway through last year. I remember in a 1-0 in the league. But this season is totally different.
And their record at Old Trafford in the last 5 years.
Zaha always has a vengeance when he plays against us. He always has something to prove. So he's kind of the only player that I'll be worried about. Other than that, I think we'll be fine. My most important thing is don't pick up yellow card for Casemiro and Fred. And don't scratch anyone. Just don't scratch anyone. Keep everybody fit and clean. But I know they might make it scrappy. I know, Ayew, he loves to track back and defend and get physical and get involved. I just want Manchester United to go in, get 1 or 2 goal, max 2 goal. Don't have to go crazy. 1 or 2 goal, bish bash bosh, jump on the bus and the flight, get back home. That's it.
Just quickly on that, Faz, isn't it?
Yeah.
I just want to say, listen, big up for you coming on here with your red and blue UV lights representing Palace, though.
Let me but before I go as well, let me do the super chats. The super chats that the brother sent. In response to his super chat, I've read them. All I can say is just let me know, do you want Johnson baby wipes or a different brand baby wipes? Because you're crying. All of you are crying. Martial FC are crying. All season you've been crying. Because when Martial was injured, Mr. Structure, these people were not here. They were not here in the chat. They were not here with their chest out. And all of a sudden now they're here saying, his ability. What is he saying? Or Ten Hag wants him. Do you sit with Ten Hag and have dinner? Do you think? To be
fair to them, he backs him every time, every press conference.
No, okay. Well, how about this Ten Hag press conference? Remember when he said he was frustrated with his injury? Yeah. Do I have to remind you? Do I have to remind you on a different press conference when Ten Hag said this is a disappointment for myself and the team? Do I have to remind you that?
No, but the frustration's there. Listen, the frustration's there.
Those are lies, isn't it? No, those are lies.
No, they're not lies. No, they're not lies. But he did say in yesterday's, for today's press conference for the Palace game, he did say he was vital. And when we missed him in the game, it affected us because he's the only one that knows where he's basically, Martial stood on Rodri and Rodri couldn't get in the game.
He's
And
the
that was a
only
bad
one we
decision.
have as a number 9. Nuruddin, what has he given us this season?
No,
Please,
listen.
all of you. No. The factual information has to be asked. What has he given us? Go on, tell me.
Well, some goals.
Not enough.
What goals? What critical goals has he scored as a number 9? The same player who went to French media and complained his shirt got took, his chain got snatched. Yeah, he got his chain back. What has he done? Go tell me which game he's been pivotal to except for the Liverpool game. Except for that Liverpool game, which game has he come in and done carried this team? He's carried this team as a number 9.
The first half in the derby, I thought it was crucial. His role was crucial for us playing well.
He does his job, and we want to credit our man for doing his job.
No,
do your job.
Well, just listen. This was a specific tactical game, tactical plan. Everybody at the front 6 all had jobs to do, and for the guy who's been injured, he did well as that. And Ten Hag did say he begged to start, even though he's not fully fit. So he
doesn't. No, stop this. I don't need this fake love. This is fake love because you were begging to play an Everton game when your backside was hurting. Everything hurts. His calf, his leg, remember. Listen, Nuruddin, this is boring. This is sentiment player FC at its finest. Someone, Super Nick said Martial agenda is boring. He's being phased out, and you know what? It's correct. Weghorst, I guarantee you, clip this. I said it on United Stand. Wout Weghorst will have a better GA, a better season than Martial already has.
While you're on there, is Weghorst starting tomorrow?
I want him to. I hope so. I want him to, get his tires warmed up for the Arsenal game. I think let's be honest, to have both Wout and Martial ready for Arsenal is needed. It's clanging and banging time. Okay, nobody's resting. Nobody's chilling. We need to collect these points, man. These are the 2 most crucial games of our season.
Big up, Vas. Thank you so much for jumping on, brother. What's the score before you go? Quickly, what's the score? What score do you predict tomorrow?
I predict a 2-0. I think we should manage a 2-0. I don't think we will concede. Ten Hag loves this clean sheet. David De Gea loves this clean sheet. I think we'll be okay with a 2-0.
Just quickly, Faz, on the whole Martial thing. Sorry, I'm so surprised as a fan base that you don't really have a United view on him as a player. Cause I think he's brilliant from the outside looking in and stuff. And I feel like that's what brings up the. I know everyone's meant to have different opinions and stuff.
Yeah, the tension.
But that's what I feel like is you don't stand United.
No, the biggest thing. So listen. Eagle Eye, listen. The biggest thing is that frustration spill over because he's not available. And as a 27-year-old, I can understand what Bass is saying. At the end of the day, you're not 22-year-old, you're not 21. As a 27-year-old human being, you should know a footballer. You should know your body, and you should be fit. And you know what? You could be incredible player, technique player, amazing player. If you're not fit to play 90 minutes this season, and we're almost halfway through the season, then shame on you.
No, tell me once. Tell me once. Have I questioned his ability in one sentence? No, I haven't. He's got a freaking Ballon d'Or clause, for God's sake. Not everybody has a Ballon d'Or clause.
We should be questioning
he doesn't play. I need soldiers on the front line. Soldiers in the medic department are of no use to me when you're in war. As simple as that.
Baz, isn't that the frustration though? For me, it's not the injuries at all. We're talking about a guy with bags of ability, could do whatever he wants with the football when he doesn't use it. That's what we're talking about.
This is not Indiana, bro. Indiana, bro. This is not the 2nd year, 3rd year, 4th year, 5th year, 6th year. This is the 7th year. When Martial came into this club, I was in my teens. I'm old enough to have children. And you want me to I'm losing hair. I had a full head of hair when Martial came in, and I'm losing hair. And you want me to sit here and be like, oh my God, his ability. Get out, man. Grow up. Martial FC need to grow up.
But that's the problem. I don't understand why half the fan base want a robot footballer who doesn't score goals up front, and then the other half of the fan base, they just want an out-and-out goal scorer. Why can't we have both? Why can't we have a player?
I agree. Listen, I agree.
Come on, man.
For me, I said, listen to me. This is what I said at the beginning of the season. Now that we've got a coach, there's no excuses. No excuses, no babysitting, none of this.
But no, then you can't coach him. You cannot coach anybody to be a natural striker. It's not possible.
No, but what I'm saying to you is that this season you got no excuse where you are turning up and playing out your skin like Rashford is at the moment. But anyway, big up, and I'll stay with you, Indiana. Talk to me about Selhurst Park.
Thank you. I have to get off. Thank you, everyone. Bless.
I just want to get the super chat. One of them saying says, Mundo, what we did to Spurs, we're doing to United. Fever Arteta revolution, and he's got better hair than tonight. Listen, he looks like Ken, the doll guy, Ken and Barbie. Where are you? Is Barbie? Zayn is the Barbie. But by the way, please go and subscribe to Vaz TV, Vaz Nation, all across all social media. Go and check it out, people. But Indiana, I'll stay with you. How crucial is this 3 points tomorrow?
This is a huge game tomorrow. I don't want to see Casemiro or Fred start, especially Casemiro. Signing of the season, Premier League signing of the season. People 30 years old, they said he's done.
I was one of those people, 100%. Put my hands up. I'm going to make a video.
30 is the new 27 now.
Listen, you know what? I've been burnt too much by this football club, and I'm going to do a proper video.
I hear you.
I'll probably invite you on there to talk about it on the inside. Yeah.
But listen, it's not a walk. No game in the Premier League is a walk, but Wilfried Zaha is going to turn up and just be a menace. That guy's always got something to prove against Manchester United, man. Especially if we play Wan-Bissaka, he's just going to want to do him. And my favourite player for Palace is Eze. I love him. I think he's incredible.
He's brilliant.
He's just incredible to watch. The sort of player I love to watch. That being said, it is a big game because of the Arsenal game on the weekend. That's what makes it a big game for me, an important game. And you take those two players out the middle, and we're left with that in Eriksen and McTominay. And I get McTominay playing for the physicality because the guy's a menace. He's another, you're just full of menaces. You should just call everyone in Palace Dennis. Just call everyone Dennis. Because Dennis and Nasha. He's on you straight away. The guy never stops. But we should be winning this game. But it's not a walk either. I won't be shocked by any result. Yeah. It's one of those games you just can't call because of the players we have to rest. We can't play Casemiro, in my opinion. I don't think he can play at all. I don't think he should be risked at all. Arsenal's too big a game. It's a massive game, especially for where we are in the league. Just drop him out completely. No need to risk him. Wouldn't do it. It's just not worth it, in my opinion. I want to go and take it to Arsenal, and I think Ten Hag will want to take it to Arsenal. Yeah, I just think a player like Garnacho. That's why I got in my profile picture, man. The guy's a superstar in the making. The kid is special.
Yeah, we know you love it. Listen, we know you love a talent. You know you love a talent, Indiana, because you were a talent once, bro. Yeah, if it weren't for the injuries, we never know. But listen, Mundo,
he's special.
He's super special. Honestly, watching him. Literally, I was in line with him. I'm about 25 yards away from him, where the seat is, where I was sat. And I'm level with him. And the way he dropped that shoulder and then twisted and just whipped that ball across the Rashford was just, you can't coach that. You can't coach that. You can't coach that. You have the instincts or you don't. You have those instincts or you don't. So big up everybody. Listen, please smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Please make sure you go and check out Planet Vaz. Go and check out Planet Vaz and his anti-Martial propaganda. No, I'm kidding. I understand the frustration with people like that. But Mundo, tomorrow for me is a big, big game, honestly. It's a big game in every front. And you know what? Usually I'm about performance, innit? I'm always about, you know what? If we play well, we're unlucky, we get beat, I don't mind, or we draw, we don't mind. As long as we work their keeper. You know what I mean? I test those things. I'm like, did Man United smack the bar? Did they hit the post? Was their keeper man of the match? I'm usually about those things because I'm like, it could be one of those nights where things don't go in for us. Like, it's good to be like, tomorrow I don't care about what performance. I want, when the whistle goes, 95 minutes of football, 90 minutes and then 5 minutes injury time. When that whistle goes, I want just 3 points. That's what I want. How do you think we get it? How do we dismantle this Palace team? Where do you think we can get them?
I think we need to play similar to how we played to City. I don't think, obviously, Palace don't have the same quality as City on the ball. the way that we played against City was more akin to like a professional away performance. You give the home team the ball, you wait for your opportunities, you set traps. And I think we have to play similarly to how we played against City. I don't think we should get carried away and try and press too high up the pitch or don't try and dominate the ball, because Palace have got players that can hurt you. They've got pace, Palace. That's the thing. I think that's the difference between Palace and City. You know, City have got better quality players. Palace are more direct. They've got quicker players. City like to play the ball around a lot, especially in wide areas. But these guys have got Eze, Olise, and Zaha. They can hurt you. So
they've definitely got weapons to hurt us. They've definitely got weapons.
They catch you on the break. They can catch you on the break.
Their front four, the interchanging, and the level of that beautiful one-touch football, quick football that is really difficult to defend against. They've got the talent. They've proven it. They've shown it. And
United can defend against them, and United, I think we will create chances, and we have to be clinical. We have to take whatever chances come. We have to take.
Yeah, we have to be. But with Mundo, we haven't been. We have not been. We make loads of chances, even in the derby, where you think that there wasn't going to be many chances we're going to create. We created some better chances than City, but we didn't take them. CM, check your DMs on Twitter. If you want to jump on, King. If you're busy, no problem. I'll come back to you, Indiana. Who do you think the match winners are tomorrow? And should Burker start? And then I'll go to Richard about your team. You just give me the team that you think want to start, and then we'll give our team who should start.
I think it's going to be a really physical game, but how can you rule Rashford out being a match winner right now? Like, I think you'd be silly to say anyone else just for the way he's been performing of late. If Man United are going to win the game, Rashford's going to play a big part in that, in my opinion. Or Garnacho, but like I said, I think it's silly to rule Rashford out with the form he's in. I just hope it's not Wilfred Zaha who wins it for Palace, man. I just can't. I'm not sure I can take that. I really like the guy, but I don't think Manchester United should be allowing one player to dictate the game the way he does. I think we've got to be careful with Wilfred Zaha, because he'll take it to us and he'll draw us in for the fouls, and that's part of his game. You know, it could be a free kick or a penalty, something like that. Maybe we'll need Waghorse tomorrow. Maybe we'll need that physicality. Maybe we'll need the Scott McTominays to come in, the height. It's going to be one of those games, I think. It's going to be a bit of a physical battle tomorrow. But yeah, I can't rule Rashford out being the match winner, man. I just don't think you can.
Okay.
And let me tell you, boys, it's cold and windy in London. It is cold. It's one of those, those wet Tuesday. You know when that cliche. That
Wednesday night in Selhurst Park. Wet.
Yeah.
Wet, cold night in Selhurst Park.
Small stadium. It's cold. It's
fans set on top of you. Richie screaming at Rashford. You're shit. You're shit. Is that what you do, Richie? Is that what you do? I can't hear you, bro. You're on mute, you know.
So I always forget that I'm on mute. So, no, I do tend to keep my composure in the ground and such.
You just celebrate the goals.
Yeah, if we score.
Go ahead, Mundo. So it's a wet. How do we win, though? We have to take it. When the first big chance falls to us, we have to take it. Richie, how do you beat Manchester United at this moment in time? Where do you see our weaknesses? Where do you attack us?
I'm going to say set pieces.
And who have you got? By the way, that the Corey guy is playing scintillating football.
He's been our player of the season. He needs help.
Super Nick, by the way. Super Nick just pointed it out to me, reminded me. The Corey kid is levels. He should be playing.
He's brilliant.
I'll take him instead of McTominay, 100%. You want to swap? You want to swap, Richie?
No.
Straight swap.
No, thank you. Now,
to be fair, you know what? McTominay has done some decent jobs for us this season. It's got to be said.
Yeah, the Corey's been brilliant. But I think it's set pieces, because I know that De Gea's an excellent shot stopper, but I know he's a bit vulnerable with crosses into the box. So I think that's going to be our biggest joy. The only other way, we need to start Odsonne Edouard. He hasn't been playing him as of late, and I don't know why. I don't know if he's still got niggling injuries or he's just out of favour. But when he starts, we just keep the ball a little bit better when we're going forward. And it allows Zaha to stay on the left-hand side. This Zaha play up front doesn't work. he's got to stop.
He knows where the net is, well, doesn't he? He's a real poacher, man. I can see you getting a rebound off of a set piece or something like that from him. But I quite like him. Why is he not been playing again? Sorry, is he been injured?
He did have a little niggle and stuff. He then started against Southampton, and then he was dropped. This is why, like, no one knows. If he doesn't start tomorrow, there's going to be like worry. Like the fan base will be worried and thinking like, what's going on?
Yeah, you think there might have been a fallout between him and Vieira. You know, Vieira's not really taking any nonsense, isn't it?
Yeah, I really hope not, because he's the only one that can put the ball in the back of net, apart from Wilf and stuff. Eze and Elisa are very good at like creating little pockets and creating little half chances and stuff. But yeah.
But Eduardo's the guy who's going to put it in. And big up Stephen Kramer. Stephen Kramer actually was saying that. Yeah, Stephen Kramer was saying that before. So big up Stephen Kramer. Indiana, where do we hurt them? Where do we hurt them? Tomkinson? Let me just get this. Let me just read this out. Let me just read this out. So Crystal Palace defender Joachim Anderson could miss out with a calf problem, prompted his substitution against Chelsea on Sunday. He's a good player because the diagonal ball, to me, he's not that his defensive capabilities, but it's a diagonal balls that he plays to Wilford.
We're going to miss that.
Yeah, that is a big threat because it surpasses our press and he goes right direct to one-on-one, creating one-on-one opportunities for Wilf and Elise. So that is a big miss for you guys. Workhurst is available, but obviously Diego De Los Sancho remain out. Casemiro, Fred, like I said, Indiana said don't play them. They want to pick up. Crystal Palace beat United last time you beat us from last season 1-0. The Eagles are fighting to win back-to-back games against United for the first time in their history. Manchester United have lost 3 of their past 6 top-flight meetings, as many defeats as the previous 31 encounters. So recently, Palace has had our number. They've had our number, to be fair, Palace. Palace have lost 4 of their past 5 league matches, failing to score any of those defeats. So at the moment, you can't buy a goal. Richie, Crystal Palace are winless in 9 league fixtures this season against teams currently in the top half of the table. That's an interesting. And United are a 10th straight victory in all competition would be United's longest run in 14 years since 11-match streak under Sir Alex Ferguson. I think that might have been 2013, if I'm not mistaken. This is Manchester United's first away match in 2023. Their 5 away league victories so far this season were all by a single goal margin. We don't score enough. That's why the title challenge for me doesn't sit right with me.
That's why we bought a striker, Nordin.
Well, we'll see. Listen, what does he start for you tomorrow? Yes or no? What's your team tomorrow? Come on, Indiana.
No. Martial starts for me tomorrow. Rackles comes on last 30 minutes.
But Martial might be injured. If
Martial's injured, then why not start Rackles? Why not? I don't see. It's not like he's new to the Premier League. I think I have no issue with him starting if Martial is injured. Yeah, start for me to have to start Rashford and Anthony. You've got Garnacho who can come on and Rashford can move up top. I wouldn't play Casemiro at any stage in the game, and unless we desperately need him, I just wouldn't play him. So
so who starts in midfield for you tomorrow then? Ericsson,
Bruno, and it'd have to be Scott McTominay because again Fred's on a yellow. I'd have to. Yeah, I think you have to do it. And I'm not sure I would change up the back 4 so much. I think I would play. I play Martinez and Varane.
Okay, Martinez, Varane, and Luke Shaw left back. Yeah, right back Wan-Bissaka. Obviously, Diego Dalot's not fit.
Yeah.
Have you been impressed by quickly on? I thought I said it. I thought the most composed player on the ball, on the actual ball, was Wan-Bissaka on the derby. Most composed guy. Actually, the guy that we injected a bit of thrust and attacking play into Man United.
I put a poll out. Who's impressed you the most this season? And it was Rashford, Fred, AWB, and Dalot. Not surprisingly, everybody said Rashford, right?
Okay.
But for me, the reason I put AWB in there is because I just thought he was done. And I didn't think we could get anything out of him at all. Maybe it's, but I did think the same with Dalot as well. To be honest with you, I thought we were done in the right back position. But Ten Hag's got all these players firing and performing, and he's created that environment. There's competition for places, and everyone's playing. Wan-Bissaka's playing for a move, by the way. Like he's impressed me a lot. I thought he did very well the other night. I got to be honest.
Who's that?
AWB.
Oh yeah. Oh, he was.
I thought he did very well.
No, he was brilliant the other night. Right, CM's joined us. CM, welcome. Big up, King. I'll say this simple. How vital is this game tomorrow? And what midfield are you picking? Are you picking Fred and Casemiro? Do you think we need to stop? Arsenal game will take care of itself. Do you think we should need to go and get the 3 points at Crystal Palace? Selhurst Park, difficult place historically. Manchester United in the last 3-5 years, Palace have had our number. This is a crucial game for us. By any means, 3 points. Who are you picking in midfield?
I think that's a difficult one. I think Eriksen can start in that midfield. Bring a bit of creativity from the Bruno. Yeah, definitely Bruno. And I think I bring on Fred for this one.
Okay, so you think we could do without Fred? We could risk the yellow card with Fred, but not Casemiro.
I think so. I think Casemiro is the more important of the two.
Yeah.
Of course, 100%. Fred has shown the value that he provides in one-off games when he's deployed against City, for example. But I think Casemiro is definitely the more important of the two.
Yeah.
No, then I got to shoot, man. I got to go.
Yo, big up, bro. Listen, so what's the score tomorrow, Indiana?
I'm going 2-1 United, but just quickly, because of what I said about Eze and Wilfried Zaha and Ayew, that's why I wouldn't play Casemiro, because they'll draw those fouls in, man. They'll want the fouls and they'll mount up. And I'm telling you, Casemiro, that we're gonna get bookings from it. That's their game plan. Wilfried 100%. Loves it.
Listen, 100%, and we know their manager is the ex-legend, Arsenal legend, and he'll be telling them, make sure those guys are booked so they don't play against us.
Yeah, that's what I mean. We're going to get stitched right up tomorrow.
Exactly. I think I might have to agree with you. I think I might have to agree with you. But one of them has to come on and keep their composure. We need to bring one of them on late on in the game.
Hey, don't forget, we've got Manu coming through as well. Maybe he'll get a little run out in the second half or something. Depends how the game goes, right?
100%. Listen, 120%. Listen, people, make sure you check out the first XI on YouTube. Check out his Indiana's Twitter as well, please. Indiana, big up Indiana. Love and yeah, man, love. Mundo, your score predictions for tomorrow?
I think it'll be 1-0, Man U. I think we'll nick it.
1-0 to the Man U. 1-0. That's what we become. We become a Man U. Our last 5 away victories have been 1-0, by the way. 1-0. So if we score first, Richie, good night, Vienna, Rude boy. Unless...
Yeah. I think it'll be 1-0.
But I think tomorrow night, it's the game that you've been waiting for to get your form back. I think your players don't need any motivating. It's Man United. No, Manchester United are coming to town. Manchester United are in town. Your players don't need motivation. They just think, listen, guys, they're firing. Can we put a stop to their run? And can we give this Palace fans, because you've had tough fixtures. You've played Chelsea.
Yeah.
You've played Spurs. 2 London derbies. And you're playing Man United. Who are you playing after? And then we play you again. A game after. We play you again.
Newcastle next.
And then us
then
again.
You again. Then Brighton.
The derby.
Brentford. Liverpool.
That's a derby. Brighton and you are a derby. Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So you've got January and February, basically.
Literally up until April 1st. Right, I'll tell you the fixtures. Right, United tomorrow. Newcastle. United again, Brighton, Brentford, Liverpool, Villa, City, Arsenal. Then we've got Leicester, April 1st.
That's crazy.
Where's Palace next set of points coming from? The Palace
I think you can beat Leicester.
Leicester.
I think you can beat Brentford. I genuinely do think you can do something in one of the London derbies. I think you can do something against Brighton because it's a derby. I don't know why weird rivalry is, but it's a massive derby in that part of the world. So, listen, Mundo, how do we do it? Who scores tomorrow? What's our team? Who are you picking in midfield?
I can't bring myself to say Fred and McTominay. I just don't ever want to see that partnership ever again.
No, one of them's going to play. One of them can't play. So you're going to pick McTominay, Bruno, and Eriksen in midfield. Yes or no?
Yeah, because McTominay's got more defensive discipline than Fred.
Okay, the physicality as well. From the
if you're picking out of the two, you've got to pick McTominay.
Are you playing Workhurst tomorrow? Workhurst.
100%, I'm playing him tomorrow. You know what? If Palace want to come with aerial domination, let's give them something to think about the other end. Yeah.
Are you ready for the 6-4-6, fella? You having it, Richie? You having it?
We're not ready.
As the brother said, man, they're playing Tompkins. Let's give Tompkins a roasting, the 6'6" guy. That's what I'm saying. Unleash the Hulk on him.
I can't believe Anderson. Listen, I just hope you know what? Just give him an injection. Anderson needs to play, man.
Oh God!
Let's exploit their weakness with a 6'6" giant.
You know what? I actually like Anderson. You know, as a future United centre because his ball playing ability.
Yeah, his distribution's really good, and he's got a shot on him as well.
Yeah, it's amazing. Listen, CM, what's your score tomorrow?
I'm gonna say 2-1.
Listen, does Verkers play? Does he play? Mm-hmm. Does he start for you? Martial is injured for me. I'm putting out on Martial is injured. He's injured.
I mean, I don't think Ten Hag has said anything about him recently, has he? In a press conference or anything like that.
No, I'm not seeing the you know what? Logan, can you find the embargo section? Let me know if you can find Jarvis. Can you find the embargo section of the presser? I think the only bit that he's talked about Garnacho. I think he's just bigging up Garnacho, if I'm not mistaken. He's talking about Garnacho, saying how good Garnacho is. That's all I'm hearing. But he said from the press conference today, he did say he's not thought about the game tomorrow, and he basically said that he reckons that he'll have to assess where Martial is and everybody else is. But the thing about Perkos is that he's been fit, he's been banging in goals, he's played in the World Cup. He doesn't need games to adapt. He already knows about the Premier League. So for me, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer.
I say to that, why not? Why not?
And I think that we need to give Palace something different to think about. And he'll be something different to think about as well. It's going to be interesting if Anthony crosses the ball now. Checks back and crosses balls now. We've got Verkos. That's going to be a very interesting thing.
And it opens up his game, because what we've seen in a lot of complaints since he's been here at United is he cuts in or he either passes it back to the fullback or just plays it back inside. There's not a lot of variety when it came to that. But now you open up the opportunity to have a guy inside the box who's going to stay there. His movement's really good in the box as well, in terms of losing defenders and finding positions for the ball to be crossed into.
Richie, who's your back four tomorrow then? Tomkinson? Who else?
It's most likely going to be Klein, Tompkins, Gay, and Mitchell. I'm hoping that Tompkins doesn't play, because I want Chris Richards to play, but if it's not Chris Richards, then I'd rather Joe Ward go centre back than Tompkins, because Tompkins is terrible.
Wow. That's crazy. I've never heard you wince like that when I've talked about your back four. And the three in midfield, who play midfield for you tomorrow? Is it two?
It'll be Decore, and then it's a big question mark whether it's either Schlupp or Hughes. And in the 10, he's been going with Elise in the 10 recently, and I'm not a big fan of that. I prefer Eze there, but yeah. Vieira's kind of doing like a roulette with his selections at the moment, and it's not good.
Okay. It's fascinating. Right. Therapy Army, I think you've been amazing. Rich, brother, big up to you. I think it's going to be United 1-0. I think if we score first, we win this game and we see it out and we roll on to Sunday. But I think one of them has to come on or one of them has to start. I can't imagine Ten Hag thinking, worrying about yellow cards and stuff like that, like we're worried about, because we're worried about it because I think this game is so important. And I think if Casemiro gets another yellow or doesn't play, so be it. I think we can still trouble Arsenal because Casemiro didn't play in the game at Old Trafford, did he? If I'm not mistaken, he didn't play. So I can still think we can trouble them. If I'm right, I don't think he played. Am I right? Casemiro played at Old Trafford? Did he play? I don't think so. I don't think he played. So for me, I think it's a massive game. It's a huge game. Like I said, Manchester United, Crystal Palace history, it's intertwined. It's intertwined. They're always there. They're always that naggy team that can do something, turn up. So many twists and turns and plots between Man United and Crystal Palace, going back to 1990 FA Cup final, and then the replay and everything else, and the part you doing that embarrassing dance at Wembley, and the rest is history. You know what I mean? So I think it's a vital thing tomorrow. I think 1-0 United. CM, I'll go to your last comment. Are you happy with what we see so far? And this is a question, CM. I'll ask all three of you. If we, let's say, big if, touch wood, if we were to win tomorrow and then beat Arsenal, whether we like it or not, are we in the title race?
I think at that point of time you could say so because we're in and around the area.
But by the way, there's a big difference being in a title race and then being a team that can win the league. There's a big difference, by the way. But go ahead, Sia. I just wanted to clarify.
I can definitely say that if those two results go our way, then we are definitely in a position to do so. But even then, I'll be waiting for the league to be concluded a lot sooner, for less games to be left for me to really make a decision on that, because I still look at this team with a bit of half and half feeling, because we understand where we've come from. We've seen the development of the team over the course of this season and the improvements of a lot of the players, but there's still a long way to go in my opinion. And of course, we've been in, so title races before, where, for example, under Ole, for example, where people were saying we finished second, but we were nowhere near it in the end of the day. So I think for Manchester United, we want to get back to the point where
I'm proper throwing him up because people is in the comments, people, and I've just put this. And CM was in the flow. Now he's lost all composure. Composure totally gone. Go ahead.
Oh,
Eagle Eye moving mad like a ninja. Go ahead, CM. Don't mind him.
We want to be in a position where we're legitimate title contenders in the end of the day. But definitely, I love what we're doing at this moment of time. We've been able to keep the form going, get wins under our belt, and the more wins that come, the more confident we are. And we're starting to see that on the football pitch with the patterns of play, being able to win back the ball, counter-attack with a level of ruthlessness that we haven't really seen for a long time. I definitely think we could be better in moments in front of goal. I don't think we're all the way there yet, but that comes with time, with training and repetition on the training pitch. So I love what we're doing right now. And I'm almost hesitant to even speak about a title or anything like that, because I just don't believe we're there yet.
Mundo, to me, a title challenge says, are we there in April? When it's like 5-6 games to go, 10 games to go. Are Man United within a shout? I think we need to sign another forward and a midfield player for Manchester United to do a proper title push challenge. We need goals. We are now, Man City and Arsenal, 20 goals to plus, 28 goals plus to the side. Newcastle are 26 or 20 odd goals to the side. We're 8 plus. We don't score enough goals for me. And to win a league title, you need goals. No other team, because
but we also don't concede. We don't concede.
Yeah, we don't concede that many, but we don't score, Mundo. We don't score. We don't. And for me,
you only need one goal. If you don't concede, you only need one goal to win a match. And that's
Mundo, what listen, the goal difference will tell if something. If you draw a couple of games and at the end of the league, you lose the league on goal difference. And the goal difference for me, when you're in a so-called title race, they count as points when there's that big difference, big gap.
Listen, I'm not even thinking. Listen, why are we talking about goal difference? We're 9 points.
No, but what I'm saying to you, I don't think we scored enough. There's enough goals for us to be in a title challenge. I don't think that. Me personally. I think the sooner we secure top 4, the better we can relax. I think that's the aim is. The aim is secure top 4 ASAP so that we can get the hell out of that Europa League BS. That's my feeling. That's my feeling.
But I think the way Ten Hag will approach it is, we're now in the top 4. So the first thing that he would have thought, in my opinion, is.
Well, Mundo, have you seen how tight it is? You lose 2 games and you're back in 7th or 8th.
No, I get that, but I think if I was a manager, and I think Ten Hag probably thinks similarly, is like, let's set these milestones throughout the season. First one is, let's get into the top 4. We're now in the top 4. So as a manager, you wouldn't want to be saying to your players, let's just stick around in the top 4.
No, I don't mean that. Of course, you're going to push. You're going to push.
Say, look, now we need to get up. Now we need to chase Arsenal. That's our objective. If we chase Arsenal hard, we'll finish in the top 4. That by default will be in the top 4. Yeah.
Well, that's what you corrected me, but yeah, that's what I meant to say. What I meant by saying secure top 4, I'm saying take points, many points as you can, so much points as you can, so that the sooner or later we built the gap between 3rd or 4th and the rest of the league. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Taking as many points as we can could mean that we're in a title race. Doesn't mean we're going to win, but I think these 2 games are pivotal, right? Because if we lose to Palace and if we lose to Arsenal, then we could be like 12, 15 points behind Arsenal.
Yeah.
So it's a thin line between winning and being right in the mix, or losing the next 2 games and being 12 points behind Arsenal.
Yeah. Listen, big up to every one of you. Love and light to all of you people. Tough game for Man United tomorrow. We'll be back here for the match reaction. 8 o'clock kickoff, if I'm not mistaken. Richie will be there giving Man United players abuse. Richie's like a cowman in the stands. Richie's a madman. Richie's a hooligan when he gets on that, mate. I'm telling you. When that place starts pumping on a wet Wednesday night, windy Wednesday night, Richie knows how to keep one. He's turned into a hooligan. That's what he is, man. I'm telling you.
I promise I'll be on my best behavior.
If Man United get any decisions, refereeing decisions, Richie's losing his head, mate.
Yeah, if they get any refereeing decisions like you did against Man City, yes, I will be losing my head.
But big up, listen, I want to thank everybody. I think we put it. Big up Logan, by the way, for getting all those quotes. Big up to HKN. Big up to Say Miasi. Did I read out Say Miasi's? I've not forgot. I've read it out. I'm big up to everybody on here. It's family. Whoever's Super Nick's family, my family. So big up to everybody on here. And Mighty Mundo, big up as well. We'll see you tomorrow, man. We'll be back here hopefully around 10:30 for the match reaction. The thing about Manchester United being bought, in terms of Man United being bought, the bidding started, so it will see who else throws their hat in the ring. For me, I agree. So Jim Ratcliffe alone cannot. If he's part of a consortium with deep pockets, then yeah, we welcome that. But if he's just coming out on his own, I don't think he's got the money in the long term to get where we need to be, because the Glazers are not going to walk away until they get 6 billion, 5 to 6 billion, and we're going to need 2.5 billion in the next 7 years of investment structurally. Forget even players, it's time to be structurally. That's what we're going to need. It's going to be. I got friends who are architects, right? And now everything building costs has gone up. So what used to be $1 billion before this recession that we're in at the moment used to be $1 billion. Now it's $1.5 billion. So this idea of like restructure, refurbishing Old Trafford, forget it. The place is falling apart. Manchester United need 100-seater stadium behind the stadium, so we can still play in Old Trafford where we build another one. But big up all the Palace people. Big up to the family cookout in the comment section, like Super Nick said it. Rich and CM getting slaughtered as usual.
I ain't getting slaughtered.
It's not me getting slaughtered.
Listen, Super Nick, I'll say this. You asked the question before. It's the $1 million question. Can we get giddy yet? No, not yet. If we're 7 points behind, 5 points behind, and it's April and it's like 6 games to go, then I'll declare giddy army. Where are we, giddy army? But at this moment in time, not happening.
Will you get giddy if we beat Arsenal and we beat Palace?
100%. Listen, if we beat Arsenal, I'm getting giddy. Of course I am, because we've shown that we slapped them. They just got to better know their place. Boy, better know your place. Man United come home or away, you get slapped. So, of course I would be giddy if we slap them. Because the way they're moving right now, you would think, the way Arsenal fans are moving right now, you would think that they're walking on water. Literally, they're walking on water, the way they're moving, honestly. They're parting season now. I don't mean to get biblical. I don't mean to disrespect people's religions, but Arsenal fans are moving mad. There are some who are scared and humble. They're not getting giddy because they're like, it's too early. Don't force me to think we're going to win the league. Respect to those people. But there are other ones who are saying, bring the Champions League. We should be in the Champions League right now. We'll be winning the Champions League. Nobody can play us. I'm like, easy now. So for me, I'll be giddy. I'll be giddy tomorrow night if we beat Palace because it's an important game. Super important game. And it's always a tough game. Palace always turn up against Man United. That's historically. That's how it is. And if we beat Arsenal, I think whether we like it or not, we're in a title challenge. Even though it's early, we're in a conversation. Because literally by the points we've gathered says that we're in that conversation. Whether we're going to win it and sustain it, I don't think we have enough strike force at this moment to score enough goals. We don't score enough goals. Every game's a struggle, especially away from home. So we need to slap teams if we're going to try to challenge for a league title, for me personally. But it is what it is. Big up to every one of you. Please subscribe to Eagle Eye Football, Rich and Eagle Eye Football. Give the brother one of the most interesting characters I met on YouTube, because when I go on there, I get cooked. Talk about Rich getting cooked, see him getting cooked now. Their channel is the most I've ever been cooked on YouTube. Is that the clips are out there. And it is what it is. I was at a barber shop and the jokes and the memes, you know what I mean? It was just crazy. I got seriously cooked on that night. So big up. And CM, make sure across all social media. CM, is it Eagle Eye? Are you on all across social media? Eagle Eye Football?
Yeah, just
all across
Eagle Eye Football, you'll find us.
Yeah. And CM 22ENT across all social media. Go and check out the twins. The match reactions is brilliant. Or what's going on at Man United. He's a gamer, so go and check out his Twitch as well if you're into games. Mighty Mundo is always on here. No other channel that I know of, unless he's cheating on United Real Therapy. But follow him.
This is my home.
Follow him on Twitter as well. But hopefully start tweeting now that Man United are doing something, and there might be some interesting things to tweet. But big up to the Therapy Army. Please smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And please go and check out First XI as well. In the Alus on the channel, and go and check out Planet Vaz as well. Go and check out across all his social media and subscribe to his channels as well. Vaz. And big up to Super Nick, Windy, everybody. Big up to every one of you, all the regulars, some of the new people, all the Palace fans in the comments. Big up. Nuruddin, why you go to barbers? You know what, bro? It's just I go there to hang out, chat football. I go there to hang out, get a nice shape. You know what I mean? Even if it's a number one, it needs a little tidying up. But you wouldn't know about that because from the picture there, I think your hair is receding worse than mine, Rude Boy. If I can't see you properly. I can't see you properly. I'm looking now. Do I need to get my glasses on for this one? Let me have a look at that hairline.
That's 50 Cent.
Brass. Okay. 50 Cent. You're impersonating the man with a hairline like that. What does that say about you, Vibes? What's your hairline like? Trust me. You're impersonating hairline like that. Imposter, you know.
I'm dying. Let me mute.
Listen, it is what it is. It is what it is. I just thought that was you, but you know, you can't be too careful in the internet these days, innit? I was thinking, yeah. I didn't want to say you look like 50 Cent, you know what I mean? I didn't want to take the mick like that, you know what I mean? But 50 on that photo, his hairline is not looking too clever, man. So I won't be. If we got a photo with 50 with a hairline like that, I won't be talking about hair, bro. I won't be talking about.
I know. At least bring like the in the club 50, not like the 50 who's turned 50. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
We're going to use him.
The Super Bowl 50 was big.
Yeah, that's the
Roly Poly 50. That's why they called it Roly Poly 50. I saw the meme saying Roly Poly 50. But anyway, big up to everybody, and we'll see you after the match reaction tomorrow. Listen, Rich. If you want me to jump on for the match reaction, let me know. If you're doing that show, bro, no problem. Otherwise, CM, same love to you. Mundo, love to you as well. But Therapy Army, you've been wonderful. It's been a lot to talk about tonight. A lot to talk about. United need the 3 points, regardless how they get it. That's how it is. Love, light, take care of yourselves. Win, lose, or draw. Glazers out. Let's hope somebody's buying Man United ASAP, because that would be the party of all parties, people. And you're all invited. Peace. Take care.